after sunsets.
Hey, hey, hey! I'm so grateful you're here and truly appreciate the gift of your time. I'm Jolene Staker, like a stake in the ground, not the one you eat. And yes, I know there's a song with my name in it. I'm so excited to share this chapter of Project 55 with you. The full story behind Project 55 is in my launch video, which I'll link below. Here's a quick recap. I launched my channel on my 55th birthday. Over the last 5 years or so, I've spent a lot of time reading, studying, and exploring books and the reading experience. Project 55 is my way of bringing all of that together to build a library of bite-sized pizzas that are quick to watch now and easy to find later. And because I can be a number nerd, I chose to go all in on number 55. There will be 55 video chapters, each between 5 and 11 minutes long. Because, of course, 5 times 11 is 55. Each chapter explores a different aspect of the book experience. Whether you're a lifelong reader or just beginning your reading journey, I hope you'll find ideas, tools, and conversations that help you enjoy books in new ways. Let's get into today's chapter. I promise I'll tie this back to books later, but for this chapter, I'm going to share how a sport became a love story. I played basketball unsuccessfully in junior high and quit midway through 9th grade because I was tired of getting yelled at by the coach during practice and by my dad in the parking lot when he had to pick me up late after an away game. Later, during my advanced individual training for the Army, I had more success on a basketball team and really enjoyed it. Then life moved on, and I left any interest in basketball on the court. My adopted grandmother was a die-hard Razorback men's basketball fan. I watched a few games with her and kept up with whether they won or lost, but I never watched on my own. I had very little interest in watching sports. If I was going to spend time on a sport, I wanted to be playing it. Then we found out that my cousin's daughter was playing basketball at a small college, and thanks to technology, Dad and I could watch her games. We caught just a few of her last games in 2024, but in 2025, we watched them all. When her season ended, Dad wanted more basketball, so I went looking on YouTube. I found a UConn game with several games still to go in the NCAA women's basketball tournament. We fell in love with the team and were so excited when they won the national championship. I didn't even know the WNBA existed until a couple of months after the draft when YouTube started recommending videos about Paige Bueckers. That's when I discovered we could keep watching her play. We came to the season late, but caught up on all of the Dallas Wings games. Then NaLyssa Smith and DeJounte Carrington were traded, which led us to start watching the Las Vegas Aces and the Minnesota Lynx. That turned out to be a good thing because when the Wings finished dead last, we still had 2 teams to root for. We were heartbroken when Minnesota lost their chance at the championship and excited when the Aces won it. Sometimes it pays to cheer for more than one team. There was a lot of talk about WNBA players not being paid enough, and I really didn't know what I thought about it. If the league wasn't bringing in enough revenue to pay them more and the NBA was still financially supporting it, then comparing their salaries to NBA salaries didn't seem like the right metric. Then Unrivaled hit my radar. It's an interesting blend of traditional 3-on-3 basketball, which is usually played on a half court, and the full court game, played on a shorter court. What really intrigued me was that this new league was paying its players more and providing better facilities. I was impressed that its founders, Breanna Stewart and Napheesa Collier, didn't just say players should be paid more, they created something that paid them more. It was also during this time that I learned many WNBA players spent their off seasons playing overseas, often because they could make more money there. Because Unrivaled created completely different teams, players I already knew and liked were scattered throughout that league. giving me a reason to watch every team and get to know even more players. Then in 2026, we watched my cousin's daughter play again along with UConn. We loved the whole UConn team and especially enjoyed watching Azzi Fudd and Sarah Strong. UConn had a disappointing loss and didn't make it to the championship game, but we were already committed to watching the rest of the tournament. Watching the rest of the tournament introduced us to more teams and players, which paid off when the draft season rolled around. Azzi Fudd was our favorite draft pick and was reunited with Paige Bueckers, but this time I was familiar with at least 7 of the other draft picks. This year, we started out cheering for our same 3 teams, with the Wings always getting priority when they're playing. But between the expansion draft, new contracts and trades, many of the players we had gotten to know were scattered across the league. That gave us even more teams to follow, and now we end up watching almost every game. Dad has gotten to where he has trouble following movies, so most of our TV time has become either basketball or the news. Basketball gives us something we can still watch and enjoy together, and given the alternative, suddenly watching another basketball game doesn't seem excessive. It's the middle of the season, so nothing has been decided, but I know for sure the Wings won't come in last, and there's a chance they could make the top 4. And while we definitely care about the score and want our teams to win, we're just as interested in the stories. Probably me more than Dad, but even he keeps up with who's injured and is always asking me to check on this player or that player. During my first WNBA season, I formed impressions of players based on how they acted on the court. But watching Unrivaled gave me a chance to watch some of those same players in a different setting and with different teammates, and some of my impressions changed. It reminded me that the more you see of someone and understand the journey they've been on, the easier it is to give them some grace in the moments when they may not be showing their best side. It may be called a game, but what they're doing is hard, and one emotional moment on the court doesn't necessarily tell you who someone really is. At this point, I spend a lot of time with books and a lot of time watching basketball. Sometimes I find myself thinking about books while I'm watching basketball and thinking about basketball while I'm picking books. I'll save those connections for future chapters. But now, if you ever wonder why basketball keeps bouncing into a conversation about books, you know how the love story started and how the ball got here. And that's a wrap on this chapter of Project 55. See you in the next one.
I thank God for you.